International, and today we're going to talk about Nuts and Bolts Volume 37, which is on the Jagdpanzer 4, and this is part 1, which covers the vehicles with the L48 gun. Obviously Volume 2 is to come. So, this is, like I said, Volume 37. There's lots of these before. The latest format of these books, which is about the last, 15 volumes, is pretty neat. So this book is 180 pages. There's 152 black and white photographs. There's 23 photographs of models that have been built. 193 modern photographs of walkarounds of vehicles in museums. 36 blueprints and 16 different camouflage schemes. So we'll have a flick through the pages. We start off, there's the first two photographs of a build kit, and as you can see there's black and white photographs all the way through. Table of contents all down here. I'll put a copy of this in the website article. And it starts off with, there's 10 pages of the development of the vehicle, starting off with the very first pre-series test vehicle at the top there. So we go through those, description of the development of the vehicle, armour thicknesses, armament, armour, technical specifications, equipment and crew, and then production figures and where they were produced, table of main armaments, table of organisation. Now we get into basically organisations, how they're organised in their units. Tactics. And now we get through unit histories. Every unit that used this vehicle, there's a short history of those vehicles in that particular unit. And it goes through all the different units. As you can imagine, there's quite a lot of these. As you can see, there's black and white photographs sprinkled throughout, and still going through the unit histories. Here we get allocation of Jagdpanzer 4s to the units. So basically, which units received them, how many and when. And then continuing with, or finishing off the last units, then further projects or further future development that never happened. Camouflage and markings, how the Zimmerit was applied. Quick look through the various museum vehicles, of which they seem to have taken walk-around photographs of most of them. Modelling the Jagdpanzer 4 series, just going through the details, and table overview of kits and aftermarket sets that are available. It's a nice list. Acknowledgements, bibliography, 39 different primary source documents were used, a primary and secondary source. And then we get on to, this is 47 pages containing about 123 black and white period photos, basically starting off with the first pre-series vehicle, this is a wooden superstructure, and then another pre-series vehicle, and this one has a mild steel body. And then basically, so we start at the very beginnings, and we go through a lot of photographs, black and white photographs. As you can imagine, there's a lot of really interesting photographs in here, how things used. All the captions are in German and English, all the texts are in German and English. And the English is excellent. You wouldn't, it's obviously been either translated by somebody who's a native English speaker. So going through lots of photographs. I'll just skip ahead a little bit in here, just towards the end. It basically goes through starting when the vehicle was introduced and moving forwards to the end of the war. You can see Western Front photographs, Eastern Front photographs. That's the very end of the war. This is actually after the war. This is at a parade in Damascus after the war. And then there are basically blueprints. These are in 1/35th scale, and there's a variety of vehicles from the beginning of the production run to the end. As you can see, they're nice. I've used these diagrams before when building kits, just to make sure that things like placement of tools was correct, and things on the kit are actually laid out right. So the blueprints there. Then we get on to the colour profiles. And what I'll do is I'll just turn the book this way a bit. And you can see there's basically they're all based on a black and white photograph, which has been reproduced as a colour profile, so you can actually replicate it. So let's skip through those. The colours used on the different shells. And then we get on to walkarounds of the real vehicles. And as you can see, they've been to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different museums to take photographs of vehicles or remains of vehicles that survived the war. And this is actually the test vehicle, the V2, one of the pre-production vehicles that somehow managed to survive the war. Usually, pre-production vehicles don't do well. So then we go through. There's loads of close-up photographs. They're all labelled, showing exactly what you're looking at. Things of note, what the Zimrit looks like, details underneath the vehicle, what that final drive, what that looks like, different types of tracks, even though only officially one type of track was ever used, the KGS 61, 400, 120. There was actually subtle differences between different types of tracks that were used. I'm just skipping a couple of pages at a time here. Then we go through lots of close-up details of vehicles in museums and inside the vehicle as well. And vision devices, hatches, different panels, grills, tools. You get the idea, basically, engine as well. Basically every part of the vehicle, the inside, the gearbox, these radios that were fitted, small arms that were carried inside the vehicle. As you can see, there's a lot of details here. Then we get into the modelling, photographs of kits that were built, handy technique for replicating the Zimrit, different ways to do things. What on the back is the previous 36 volumes. As you can see, volumes 19 to this one all follow the same layout and format, and we've got a few of them listed on our website as well with reviews. So overall, if you're building a Jagdpanzer 4 with an L48 gun, this is the perfect book for you to use as a reference. Basically, you don't need anything other than this one. Many thanks for Heiner for sending this along for review, and I'll stick some photographs and some more text up on the website, and the link is below the video.